So what I was touching on a little bit earlier was that I believe the transition of YouTube and kind of like your everyday videos are starting to move in alignment with live videos. Most of you guys already know with YouTube, there already has a lot of live activity. When you're scrolling and stuff like that, you see a lot of lives. That's just basically a signal telling you guys that at some point live is gonna kind of be the forefront of videos. Like I said, people are more kind of like short-minded. They like things a little bit more quickly than normal. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's where you got the TikTok shorts, the YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, all of those. But then, like I said, instead of having like a regular day-to-day video, or someone that drops a video every 3 or 4 days out of the week, you actually get to follow somebody that is literally live streaming all day long, and you get to be with your favorite content creator damn near all day. And not just that, you also have the ability to be able to see behind the scenes. Being able to see behind the scenes nowadays with content is like a golden nugget for an audience member or viewer, because as media starts to old media starts to fade away, new media start to come about, like YouTube and Rumble and all those other standalone platforms. But then now you have kind of like the little brother live. You know what I mean? It's like people all day long will want to be able to choose to be behind the scenes with their favorite content creator, and then they just have it's just a whole different audience, but at the same time, in the next few years or so, it's going to really kind of take a stronghold in content creation. So I myself, I'm trying to align my work as I'm building on here, also with the idea that I may need to live stream too, and I'm not saying that I have to. I'm just saying that it's just a type of nuance that you see coming, so you might as well just try to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought that was a cool concept too. Like when I used to watch a lot of the sitcom shows back in the day, like the Fresh Prince, all of the etc. Like being able to see behind the scenes, you couldn't really see that unless they set up an episode that was mainly surrounded by it. You know what I'm saying? So, but nowadays, man, yeah, you can latch on to your favorite content creator and then, be able to, roll with them, what I'm saying, all day long. So that's going to be something of the future, man. So you guys got to, stay locked in and see what's happening around you. It's the thing about YouTube is that you don't want to be a slave of the algorithm, because it's like, man, you're trying to leave your job, your 9 to 5 in the dust, right? Most people are trying to leave their 9 to 5 in the dust, but it's like, all right, so you're gonna leave that slave mentality and then come over and be a slave to the algorithm. It's like, man, nah, it's just too uniform, man. It's too uniform. I don't think people should be locked into one place, if that's not, if there's multiple, vehicles, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to be locked into one thing, but that's just me. That's just my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, St. Nicholas Brand. Peace.